Hi friends, how are we? I hope everyone is feeling well. I know it's been a while actually since I recorded a podcast. I have honestly, I got myself into a bit of a rut because I got really positive and excited about interviewing people for my podcast. And I booked in loads of interviews, amazing interviews, some incredible people, great stories to share. And I basically did 3 podcast interviews in one day, pretty much over the space of a couple of days. And they were all such amazing content, but my internet connection kept cutting out. And there's so much editing to be done. And all 3 of them were about 90 minutes long. And so I got really overwhelmed, and I still haven't sat there and edited them. 2 of them I'm actually going to re-record, and one of them I'm still yet to edit. So I really have got some really insightful and amazing interviews to share. And I almost want to apologize to say I have to hold my hands up and say that it was overwhelmed, but it's actually okay to feel overwhelmed. It's totally okay to admit to that as well. Awareness is always the beginning of starting to move forward. Always. Whenever I think about any time that I've made a change in my life, it has been when I have first had that awareness. Even if you're aware that you just keep making a mistake, even if it's that you're aware that you're doing something that is self-sabotaging, it's actually a step in the right direction that you become aware of it. Absolutely a step in the right direction. So I'm really excited. I've just recorded my first motivational month. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, I have been asked to take part in an online magazine, which is fantastic. It's being run by a friend of mine, and she's asked me to every month basically do a motivational talk to help people get through the month, which is actually kind of cool, because if I was to show you my vision board, one of the things that I've got on there is transformational speaker. And it's been a big dream of mine for a long time to be able to reach people on a larger scale and help them understand that life is truly what you make it. And obviously helping people with tools and not just kind of telling you, hey, just be positive and positive things are going to happen, because it doesn't work like that. I've just sat here and recorded it in this little corner of my lounge. And then I thought, well, while I'm here, I'm just going to record a podcast as well and share some of the things that have happened this month and things that I'm really excited about and things that I've worked through, and maybe it will resonate with you. So take what you want and leave the rest. I'm not going to give too much about what I just spoke about for the month of March, but because it'd be great for you to actually check it out for yourself, and I will post the link on my Instagram as well once that's all up and running. It's Spirit Said. I'm wearing the t-shirt for those of you that are watching this on YouTube. And yeah, it was all about March and new beginnings. And it's interesting because I don't know if you've ever had your numerology report before. I've had a really extensive numerology report done before, but I actually bought this book specifically for my year. So I forgive me, I couldn't sit here and tell you exactly what numerology is, but all I know for sure is that we all have these certain years, and they go in cycles. It's something that came up for me this morning. It has been coming up for me a lot, is about how everything goes in cycles. Everything goes in cycles. I'll circle back around to that one because I'm going to go off on a tangent. But this is my year 8. And it's funny because I'm attracting loads of people that are also in their year 8. And year 8 is a really exciting year because it's a year of abundance, of major change and rebirth. And so this particular month of February was supposedly my month for rebirth, because I was working through some stuff in January, and then this was my month for rebirth. And I think I got so hung up on the fact that that is astrologically, I guess it's I'm sure astrology and numerology kind of go hand in hand. Again, forgive me if they don't. I'm just pretty sure that they do. Totally lost my train of thought now. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I was actually thinking to myself so much about that this needed to be a month of new beginnings, but I actually felt that I wasn't as productive this month than the expectation that I'd put on myself, which is so wild because this month so far, with a friend of mine, you know, we have launched an ebook, the 5 a.m. Girls Club, launched a community for the 5 a.m. Girls Club, which we have a community in there already of, I think there's 11 of us women, and every single morning there's more people that are actually joining us live on the Zoom. Today was the first day where there was actually 4 of us. So it started off with 2 of us, and then it went to 3 of us, and now there was 4 of us. But actually, what the girl, my friend that's usually on the Zoom with us, couldn't actually make it this morning because her little girls had kept her up last night. So it's gone from 2 to 3 to 5 because it was 2 completely new people that had joined us on the Zoom today. It's just the power of the compound effect. You know, when you can just feel that something is starting, there's these wheels that are in motion, and all of a sudden it's going to get to this stage where the train just doesn't stop. Just going to keep going and growing and going and growing and going and growing. And it's really exciting because we don't want anything from this. You know, it's a free ebook. It's a free community group for women. But what's really special about the 5 a.m. Girls Club is not so much that we do this morning routine, which is amazing because it sets us up for the day. It's the conversations. It's the conversations that we have as a group that are so rewarding. They are so rewarding. And yeah, so anyway, I wanted to share that, but also just to kind of say that I had put an expectation on myself, and I'd kind of fallen out of the routine of reading my books every single day. I'm still reading my books, but I wasn't reading it every single day. And I sort of lost sight of what it was exactly that I was supposed to be doing. I was overwhelmed about my podcast because I know that I have to sit down and edit the podcast, although I made a decision on 2 of them to re-record them, which is cool. But I was overwhelmed about that. I was overwhelmed because I'm reading 3 books at the moment, and I'd fallen behind and wasn't reading the 10 pages of each book. It's half term. I had finalized putting together the ebook, set the group up, everything like that. But then I was kind of like, well, what next? What do I do now? Fallen behind slightly with my own personal business and come out of consistency with that. So everything seemed to be up in the air, and I was kind of questioning, like, well, where's this new beginning, this butterfly that I'm supposed to be transforming into in February? But I'm starting to realize that transformations are never overnight. Transformations are never, ever overnight. Even when you can feel that you are starting something and there's momentum building, every night when you go to sleep, that momentum stops. And then it's down to you the next day to continue that. But we should never underestimate the power of just doing a small thing every single day, a tiny little thing every single day. You know, the fact that I've still remained consistent every single day and been up at 4:45, ready to start this morning routine at 5 o'clock. If the only thing that I have done that morning, the only thing that I've done that day is actually stuck to a morning routine, I have consistently shown up and done something that is going to impact future Natalie for the better. I've said so many times before, you know, we live in this world of like instant gratification. And so we expect everything to kind of happen yesterday. But I really just wanted to share that even when it seems like somebody has done a lot of work and looks like they are from an outsider's perspective, looks like they have it all together, it's still a journey. And I embrace the fact that I will be on this journey forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Because one of my favorite sayings is, if you are not growing, you are dying. We're going to keep going and growing. We are going to keep going and growing every single day. And that's all you can ask of yourself. I don't want to burn out ever again. And I have burnt out so many times before. So now when I recognize that I am overwhelmed, I take a complete step back. Oftentimes people will give advice and they will say, even when you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. And I appreciate that I am not a millionaire. I fully respect that. And I appreciate that every single morning when I wake up, do I jump out of bed and go, woo, yeah, 5 a.m. girls club, let's go? No, most mornings I wake up and I think, oh, as soon as I've done my routine, I'm going to go back to bed. But within 10 minutes of being on that Zoom call with whoever shows up that morning, or even if no one shows up, within 10 minutes, I'm up, I'm ready, and I'm feeling good. So although there is some truth to, even if you are feeling, you're not, even if there is some truth to showing up even when you don't feel like showing up, you kind of have to pick and choose your battles. It should always be the path of least resistance. If I'm feeling totally overwhelmed and I know that I've got podcasts to edit, I've got, other expectations put on me by other people, I've got my daughters to look after and entertain, I've got dinner to cook, I've got work to do, like whatever it is, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, the old version of me would have pushed through and pushed through and pushed through and just got things done, and then my mood would have been all out of whack, and eventually I would burn out. And people could see it. People could see that I was about to burn out, and I never could, because I was like, yeah, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. But now I'm so aware of that feeling that I recognize, okay, I'm going to pick my battles here, which is what's a soul yes and what's a soul no. What is going to make me feel good, rather than, and this is often the decision that people are met with, what feels good to me right now in this moment, rather than what's going to put money in my bank. What's going to make me feel good in this moment, rather than what's going to mean I don't have so much to do tomorrow. I think when you can put yourself in a position where you are only doing what makes you feel good in that moment, it doesn't matter how much you actually got done in that day. What you did get done is going to multiply, and it's going to compound over time, and it's going to get you to where you're supposed to be at the time when it's supposed to happen. And it's that whole surrendering process, the whole surrendering process to, I'm not going to be an overnight success. And what even is success? Like, what does success mean to you? Success to me used to mean that I'd make my family proud, and that I would be able to pay my bills and not rely on anybody. That was basically success to me. And I guess, messages, thought that just come into my head that I'd never even considered before. I guess being worshipped and adored. Because coming from a place where I never really experienced that, you really crave that attention. When you get beyond that, when you get beyond doing things for attention, whether you're aware of it consciously or not, and you just do what makes you feel good in that moment, everything else around you makes more sense. Surrendering to, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to achieve what it is that I want to achieve, I'm just going to keep showing up every single day. Success to me now looks so much different. Success to me is that my daughter's happy, that I'm happy, and that my partner's happy. That's success to me. Like, success to me is laughing every day. I honestly don't think I have laughed so much as I have done since the 13th of January, which is when me and my friends started doing the 5 a.m. girls club together. I don't know if that is solely responsible, but definitely waking up in the morning and putting myself first and practicing that level of self-care and choosing to read books rather than watch telly or delve into YouTube or anything like that. Just focusing on me and mine. I genuinely have laughed so hard every single day. And it's beautiful. And that's success to me. I'm already winning. I already feel like I'm winning. I'm not doing anything out of desperation. Everything is being done out of love. So although I had this guide that was telling me in book form, you know, this month is your month for transformation, you're turning into this butterfly, I was kind of like, where's my wings? Where are they? Where are my frigging wings? And I already had them. I just wasn't appreciating that I already had them. I was too stuck in not having fun. And now that I'm laughing every day and having fun, I don't feel guilty about watching TikToks that have me in stitches. I don't feel guilty about that. I don't feel any shame that I haven't created exactly what I want to create in this moment, the expectation of what I wanted to create in this moment. But I'm really, really proud of what I have begun to create. And so circling back to the fact that I've just recorded this motivation for March, for me, springtime is all about new beginnings. It's all about new beginnings, and it's all about possibilities and opportunities. You know, those first pink blossoms have always been like my favorite thing. When I'd walk out the top of my road when I lived at home with my mum, and there was these pink blossom trees, and it always reminded me it's spring and it's my birthday coming up, because my birthday's in April. I've always been a spring baby, like loving that. And I think it's because of that whole air of it's a fresh start, it's a new beginning, it's something growing, something new is going to begin now. And we get to decide whether that new beginning is good or bad. We get to decide that. And that literally makes me feel so happy saying that. So yeah, a bit of an impromptu podcast. Just wanted to share like where I was at. I just feel really grateful, and really excited. I feel good for everyone, not just for me. This isn't me saying, oh, I feel really good, you know, screw everybody else. This is me saying, like, I think things are going to gradually start to get better. I believe that. I really believe that. And if you can start asking yourself questions now, you know, what do I, and we've got a new moon actually, sorry, a full moon coming up on Saturday. And full moons are times for releasing. So new moons are time for manifesting and what you're calling in, and full moons are times for releasing. Now, what are you going to release? What are you going to release that wasn't serving you in February? And what are you going to walk into? What's your new beginning? How does that look like to you? What behaviors can you drop that aren't serving you? What behaviors can you start doing that are going to serve you better? Can you start appreciating your job more? I love my part-time job. I absolutely love my part-time job. I love the people. I love the simplicity of the role. I love the fact I have the opportunity to do overtime. And I love it because when I made my money breakthrough, which I actually recorded something and it's on my YouTube after I had my money mindset breakthrough. Now when I earn money, I invest it. So I get really excited about working my job, my day job, because that is my money to, pay the bills, put something aside for my taxes, and to invest. And I get really excited at the possibility of doing that. And it gives me that freedom, that more freedom to then focus on things like my podcast, things that I want to create. All of the studying that I'm doing right now, all the things that I want to bring to women and bring into the world, using things that have happened in my past experience and things that I've managed to work through to be able to help other people work through the same thing. But can you appreciate your job more? Can you appreciate your family more? Can you appreciate yourself more? That's so important. It's so important. So I'm going to leave you with that, and let me know if any of this resonated with you, or even if you want to drop me a message and I can help you make sense of whatever it is that maybe you want to focus on going forward. Sometimes it's nice to just sound off to somebody without any expectation to be able to move forward. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I hope you have an amazing rest of the month. I will hopefully get another podcast out before the end of February. And yeah, that's goodbye from me for now.